Hey everyone, it's Gamefruit Pulp, and welcome back to another Minecraft Building Toronto episode. This is a special episode because it's the 99th video of the series, and with that in mind, I'm excited to be showcasing a very notable building on our map. This building is one of the many you may recognize on the project because the exterior of the building has stood here for a while, being built by Star and me almost 2 years ago. However, the interior of this building was a task that I thought would take months to tackle due to the huge scale of the building. I'm of course talking about the Canadian Broadcasting Centre, or CBC, building, which is located on Front Street. This behemoth of a structure is finally done on our project, and I can't wait to jump in and take a look at it all with you. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment letting me know. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and will help us continue to grow our community on the channel. Now, before jumping into the content of the video, we're going to have a quick word about today's video sponsor, the Minecraft Building Toronto project server. This server is, of course, what this video is all about, and some of you may not know that this map is actually hosted on a public Java server that can be joined with a vanilla Minecraft Java account. This map is designed to be an enjoyable experience for visitors as well, with quests, stores, and many events scattered throughout the map to allow for a fun and interactive experience while exploring and joining our map. You can join the server at buildingto.ca and explore the Building Toronto map for yourself. Now, looking at the building that we're going to be showcasing in this video, the CBC building, we find one of the large structures that we have built so far in the downtown core, but one that doesn't draw much attention of the passerby like so many other buildings that we have on the map. I think that part of the reason for this is because although the exterior of this building is quite unique, its older age and lack of height doesn't draw the attention of a visitor to the city quite like the towers that surround it would. That being said, I think that the exterior of this building is something that adds value to the area, so let's take a look at that first before jumping into the interesting and detailed interior of the building. The Canadian Broadcasting Centre, also known as the Toronto Broadcast Centre, was built in 1992, but the history of this location starts long before the construction of this building. The 13-story broadcast complex is located on the site of the first Ontario Parliament buildings, or the third Parliament building of Upper Canada, which stood on the block bound by Wellington, John, Front, and Simcoe Streets between 1832 and 1903. Shockingly, once the new Ontario Parliament building was built at Queen's Park, north of this location, the original Parliament building located at this site was left abandoned and it was fully demolished after being overrun by vandalism. I can't find any of the history about what happened at this location between 1903 and 1988 when construction began on this building, but I feel like such a historic location probably deserves a bit more homage paid to it than what it has right now. Anyways, like I mentioned earlier, the CBC building was built in 1992, and the building has a total of 13 floors with a total floor area of a massive 1,720,000 square feet, or 160,000 square meters. Construction began on this building in 1988, meaning it took about 4 years to build, and given the size of the building, that isn't very surprising to me. The building's architect was Philip Johnson of John Berge Architects, and the building developer was Bregman and Hamann Architects, which is now known as B&H Architects, and that firm actually has their head office in the city of Toronto. The construction cost of the building was approximately $350 million, and that doesn't include any of the technical updates required to have a broadcasting center that's constantly top of the line. Now, although this building is owned by the CBC, Canada's national broadcasting organization, 2 floors of the facility actually house the ad agency Bensimon Birnie and its subsidiaries Narrative and One Method. The exterior of this building is a really interesting one as it incorporates a number of different colors and building textures to present a modern look now that is over 30 years old. But that being said, that time period provides us with some insights as to what modern architecture looked like in the 1990s. The use of the sharp red colors as accents on the windows and the overhangs on the first floor is likely done as a reference to the CBC's logo, which is typically a red or white variant, which you can see on screen now. The exterior of this building was built by Star and I, with the front wall initially being built by United Valeria, who is no longer a member of the building team. The large building was a challenge to build because of the many off-angled glass walls that break the patterns of the exterior. I did enjoy doing this exterior though because of the things that made it difficult to build. I find that some of the glass towers in the city are not as fun to build because of the way they are just simply not as detailed. It's the same pattern over and over as the building goes up. You don't see that with the CBC building. The different squares and circles breaking against the patterned walls forced me to think about how to best capture the details that are there in real life in our Minecraft versions of the build. Moving now to what is the most detailed and interesting part of this building in my opinion, that is of course the interior. The interior was a massive undertaking with 13 floors that all had unique features that were required to be built. With that in mind, one of our most skilled and active builders, Mike, took the plunge and spent the last few months working on this massive undertaking. The interior has a ton of interesting details, so my plan is to start at the lobby level and slowly work our way up, capturing all of the things that I think are noteworthy. The lobby level of this building contains 2 restaurants, a Boston Pizza located at the southwest corner, and a Sunset Grill located at the northeast corner of the building. The lobby of the CBC building has a number of interesting areas that I wanted to focus on, but one specific portion of the lobby, and that is the Barbara Frum atrium. This section of the building has a brief explanation on the CBC website, which looks, to be honest, like something that hasn't been updated since the creation of dial-up internet. But anyways, here's what it says about this specific section of the building. The spectacular Barbara Frum atrium, named in honor of one of Canada's most celebrated and respected journalists, forms the grand focal point of the Canadian Broadcasting Centre. The atrium covers 10,000 square feet and extends 10 stories high. An impressive and innovative Philip Johnson design, the atrium is unique in every detail, from its patterned terrazzo floor to its magnificent skylight. The lobby level in general is probably my favorite floor as a whole of this building, just because of the variety of things you find there. 2 restaurants, the high vaulted ceiling of the entrance, plus the ground level of the vaulted atrium really makes it an interesting walkthrough as a visitor. Now within the CBC building are a number of television studios that are used to film shows and broadcasts seen on their networks. Studio 40 is a 13,287 square foot or 1,234 square meter studio located on the 10th floor of the building. With a ceiling height of 18 meters or 60 feet, this studio is described by CBC as the largest purpose-built multi-camera capable studio soundstage in Canada. Productions filmed in this studio have included Dragon's Den, Canada's Smartest Person, Deal or No Deal Canada, Family Feud Canada, and various Paris by Night shows. Studios 41 and 42 are both 11,070 square feet or 1,024 square meters each. Also on the 10th floor, these 2 studios are almost identical and have been used by many of CBC's comedy programs, including Air Farce Live, Rick Mercer Report, The Ron James Show, and The Red Green Show. Studio 41 was leased by Sportsnet to serve as its studio for its NHL coverage, including Hockey Night in Canada, which ultimately was relocated to the Rogers Building in 2021. Studios 43 and 65 are 4,345 square feet or 404 meters each, and they're located on the 6th floor. These smaller studios have been used for CBC's talk show and lifestyle programming, such as the George Stropalopoulos Tonight, Stephen and Chris, and The Goods. The classic children's television show Mr. Dressup was taped in former Studio 4 at Yonge and Marlborough until the Broadcasting Centre opened in 1992, at which point it was moved to these studios. And lastly, Studio 73 is a 1,386 square feet or 129 square meter studio. Located on the 5th floor, the studio is equipped with a large green screen and is used to tape the hosted segments of CBC Kids, among other things. There additionally used to be a CBC museum in this building, however that was ultimately closed on December 22nd, 2017, and was converted into the Studio 73, which is used for the kids programming. Our take on the CBC building includes all of these sets, and Mike even built a couple of custom sets as an homage to what has been filmed in these studios. Studio 41 on our map features The Red Green Show, and Studio 43 features a set meant to look like Coach's Corner from Hockey Night in Canada back in the mid-2000s. The other studios in the building are filled with generic sets that try and make the building look as alive as it would in the real world. There isn't much to say about the interior that needs to be said in my opinion, and that isn't because of a lack of quality in the interior, but quite the opposite. I fully anticipated that this interior was one that would be left as a vacant shell on our map for a very long time because of the scale and difficulty of this building, but Mike took one for the team and tackled this massive challenge, and boy did he do a great job of it. The details of this building are beautifully captured in a way that helps the visitors see and feel what the building is used for. I also want to give a shout out to our photographer Nasser, who went to the building and took photos that could be used as references while building the complex. This is another building on the project that, much like Union Station, which I featured in my last Building Toronto video, requires you to actually join the server and walk around to get the full scale and detail of what was built here. There's so much happening in this interior that was captured by Mike that I cannot possibly showcase it all in one video, so I encourage you all to join the server and come and check it out for yourself. So that's pretty much it for this video. Episode 99 of the Building Toronto project is now completed, which of course means that episode 100 will be our next. It's hard to believe that we're going to get that many videos in this series, but here we are. I have something exciting planned for that video, so be sure to be on the lookout for episode 100, which should be coming out in the next few weeks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the playlist that has the other 98 videos of us building Toronto in Minecraft, so that you can catch up on how we have built this massive city. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can catch future content on the channel. If you're a returning viewer and you enjoyed, be sure to smash that like button and make sure to share their channel with your friends so that we can continue to grow our community. Thank you all for your support of the channel and of this series specifically. I would have never imagined that we would reach 9 videos in this series, never mind 99. And without your support, I would have given up on this project long ago. I also want to once again thank Mike, Star, and Nasser for the work on getting this build finished, but specifically Mike for tackling this huge and complex interior. Thanks again for taking the time to watch the video. My name is Game for Pulp, and this has been the 99th Minecraft Building Toronto episode. Have a good one.